Snubbing aside all the slowdown talks, there is a company that has made a thundering debut in India is MG Motors India. And I'm joined by Mr. Rajeev Chaba, who is President and CEO of the company. Welcome to ET Auto, Mr. Chaba. You had a very good start in India. But looking at the current situation, does that worry you?
Thank you, Nabeel. Yeah, you are part of the ecosystem, and the situation for the industry is not good, and we are part of the industry, and suppliers are part of the industry. So when we are trying to ramp up and things like that, the overall sentiments do impact you. But luckily for us, at this point of time, as you know, that we have lots of bookings with us. We are trying to increase production. We are hiring more people, and we are trying to ramp up with the right quality. So we have our own challenges, but it's a good problem to have right now because we have more orders than what we can supply. But coming back to your question, yes, the health of the overall system is important for you to be healthy in the long run. For short run, for 1 or 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, doesn't matter. But in the longer run, everybody else who is going to support us have to be healthy. So from that perspective, I hope industry recovers fast.
How are you going to solve this unique problem that you are facing? Because your earlier anticipation or expectation, the volume that you had and the way you had given orders to your suppliers, how difficult are you finding to cope up with that? Because your volume suddenly has almost doubled from the expected volumes that you had.
Yeah, you're right, Nabil. So we were expecting 1,500 a month, but within 2 months we need to double it now. So in this month, September, hopefully we can do 3,000 a month, which is, by the way, in this segment equal to all the other players combined. So we are trying to ramp up. It has its own challenges. The whole supply chain efficiency. There are some critical suppliers who are going 2 shifts, and some suppliers are doing 3 shifts for us now. They're working on Saturdays and Sundays to give us the supplies. So we need to extra support them. We are going for extra vendor tooling in some cases, and then we have to hire more people, train them to make in the plant. So again, positive and good problems to have in today's world. But yes, we are trying to make sure that we are able to stabilize at 3,000 a month for the next few months before we decide to increase it further over 3,000.
How do you see the current situation? Do you see anytime soon revival coming up in the Indian
It should
market?
happen. I would like to believe, Nabil, that we have hit the nadar. It is the bottom. And things should start improving. Luckily, the festival time is starting, so hopefully that should improve the sentiments. And my personal feeling, because the prices will go up significantly on BS6, a lot of consumers will like to buy BS4 cars at the right price. There are always some value, cost-conscious customers in every segment. So I think there should be a revival of growth, and I hope we have seen the worst.
Do you think you'll be able to sustain the kind of volume you have right now? Looking at, is it going to sustain for long term, or you see it as a new brand launch, new excitement? Is it more to do that?
See, obviously you have to keep doing something, and you keep injecting fresh blood into your product, right? So there is a product life cycle management. So as part of that, you have to keep doing something, which we will also do. We hope we can sustain anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 per month, and that's why we are not in a hurry to increase the volume beyond 3,000 right now.
So now it is your actual test of the product, because there has been a lot of anticipations, because being a Chinese parent, most of the R&D being done there, though it's a British brand. A lot of talk happening, and now you are in the market. How cautiously are you playing up with the brand image and in terms of quality?
See, few things I want to say here, Nabil. That number one, let's be very clear. Brand is MG, and the parentage is Chinese, right? SAIC, which is the biggest company in the world, biggest company in China. Now, MG was owned by BMW a few years back. So was it a German brand? No, it was a British brand. Theoretically suppose SAIC sells MG to Japanese. Will it become a Japanese brand? No, it will be a British brand. So MG is a 100-year-old British iconic brand. Ownership happens to be Chinese, and SAIC, because they are the 7th largest global manufacturer, We are future ready in terms of connected car, and you have seen some of that in Hector already. And then EV, we are going to launch it in terms of battery technology, in terms of mobility solutions. All that we are going to bring it to the country, even in autonomous in future, right? So we are going to bring that technology because of the parentage, because of the huge. Now coming back to the quality issues and all, see, every company goes through the ramp up phase. I know that we are being examined very closely because of MG British brand and China factor, and people have their own theories. Proof of the pudding is in eating. We have challenges, we have quality issues, by the way. We have some we are full of technology, so we have some software issues, we have some bugs. We have connectivity issues, like from 4G, if you go to a 2G environment, your Ghana application doesn't work, so customers take it as a complaint, which is they are right. So we have some challenges, we have our issues. Some consumers are not being handled properly at the dealerships because there's too much of rush. They were not expecting this kind of crowd in the showroom. So some people are not happy with the customer handling. So we have those issues for sure. We are not absolutely clean and perfect, but we
No
are
one is.
we are trying to improve. We are trying to make sure that we are able to meet the expectations, and it's a long journey, and we are not at all complacent or confident that everything is sustainable. I think we have to take step at a time, and first 10-15,000 customers have to be completely
So
satisfied.
next product is a seven-seater, I believe. When is that being rolled out?
So seven-seater is a variant of Hector, in which we are trying to bring that hopefully in the next 6 to 8 months time. But that's slightly far off. But before that, we are going to launch EV, electric vehicle. So EV we should be launching end of this year, and I can promise you that it will be a world-class EV with a great acceleration, good mileage. Hopefully, should give a lot of confidence to consumer on the range
Is
anxiety.
it the same product that you mentioned in my previous interview that
I
it will
think,
be
yeah,
below that
ZS
price?
ZS EV. Yeah, so
Yeah.
ZS EV is our
It will be
EV
priced
product.
around 10 lakh?
No, it's not around 10 lakh. No, no. So maybe then I
Oh,
didn't mention about this.
okay,
This is this
that's why
is
it was
this is
different.
going to be 20 lakhs plus for sure.
Okay.
It's a mid-size
Okay.
SUV.
You're talking about
You know,
EZS then?
yeah, EZS, yeah,
Okay.
EZS or ZS EV.
Oh,
It's changed.
okay, okay.
It's used interchangeably. So the badge is going to be ZS EV. So yeah, that's the product. So we are getting ready with that right now. So in fact, that's another challenge. While we are ramping up Hector, we are also producing EV on the line. So, but we are very happy with this challenge, and so far so good.
How are you looking at your expansion? Are you going to push in another round of investment in India? And what kind of hiring are you looking at in?
So actually, because we need to ramp up the volume, so we are on a hiring spree. We have hired more than 200 people in the last 1 month, and in fact, we are about to take a decision to hire another 400 people in the plant. We should have them by end of this year. So that's happening. In terms of investment, yes, like I told you, we need to invest in more vendor tooling. We need to invest in more. Some paint shop investment needs to be done in pre-treatment area, which we are doing it. And then the new products investments, that's an ongoing thing. So we are committed to bring another 2,000 crores in the next 2 years or so.
Next 2 years, you'll invest 2,000
2,000
crore
crores
in
more, yeah,
India,
right.
for including product development and expansion, or
So it will be all. So product development, expansion of capacity in the plant, establishment, the third line of press shop will be doing it. New body shop will be doing it. In paint shop, we may do another investment, vendor tooling for the new product.
Coming back to the market situation, how do you assess what really went wrong? Where did we miss the bus that the economy has turned into shambles?
See, it's a combination of global issues and local issues. Globally, also automotive, as you know, is not doing that well. Most of the markets are into negative territory. So India also is impacted because of the global uncertainty. But we have some local issues also. So the NBFC's issues, the financing issues, the other news which probably at some point of time could have been okay, but are adding to the negative, like the increase of taxations and increase of registration fee and insurance and all that stuff probably has accumulated all together to make the sentiments negative. Then NBFC issue, we talked about it. So BS4, BS6 confusion, the EV and diesel confusion, all that add to this whole negative sentiments. I would like to believe, Nabeel, that the consumer purchasing power has not gone down. and they want to spend money, but because of negative sentiments, because of some uncertainty, they are postponing their decision. So once the sentiments improve, they will come back in the market. So that's why I feel probably we have already seen the worst, and hopefully situation should start improving.
How do you see the change in the stand of government when it comes to electric mobility? Because they are going soft, they are making out statements that we are not going to ban IC engine or petrol or diesel cars, trying to convince the industry, which seem to have been a bit
You know,
in teasy.
I am a firm belief that the government has to think through, do a lot of homework inside before they start speaking in public.
Yeah, that's
Right.
very important.
I think the government, various arms of the government probably did not do their homework well, and they're starting speaking ahead of the curve, right? And that gave very different messages. So here I want to give you a small example, like in China. I was posted in China, and I'm talking 2011. So 2011, we were talking about how do we implement in 2020, and there was a clear-cut guideline by the Chinese government that 2020 you need to do this, right? So 9 years before, now here, if the government wants to change something in 5 years, still we have not decided the policy. So the government intention is good, right? They want to do the right thing. This is the right direction. Only thing is we need to do more discussion, homework, collaboration, decide the policy for long term, then make the announcement. Don't give conflicting signals. And that's what probably has created a lot of confusion. So intention is good, but sometimes we goof up on execution.
Even in the
So
past, I think your headquarters were waiting for clear guidelines on EV for a long time. And when they sealed one strategy, they again see a bit of change in India. How are they reacting to
see,
it?
this is frankly not related to one company, my current company. I know even the previous in my previous company, as well as if you talk to any global player, and even local players. I think everybody wants to have clarity of thoughts and a policy for the long term. See, I think whole industry will play ball if you say that in 5 years time we want to do this, in 10 years time we want to do this, and this has been thought through, collaborated, and we say like BS4, BS6. Now, if the government has decided that you have to go to BS6 and that's the final thing, then everybody is playing ball with that. Everybody is trying to implement that. Now, nobody is saying don't do it, right? So, likewise, if suppose you say in 5 years here you want to be in EV, this is my strategy for support, and it's a phase-wise approach. Initially you can import something, then you have to localize. You have to localize more, and you can make it very simple. Like, and by the way, we can look at various countries who have done it. You don't have to really think too much. You have to obviously calibrate to the local conditions and local flavor, but you can learn that how things have progressed in the outside countries. So my only request would be that this is what we need to do in our country, maybe across the economy, across the industries, that have a long-term policy. Especially in automotive industry, it takes time, huge resources, huge investment. Think it from the long-term perspective, and then
Do you think the industry or the market economy has bottomed out, or you fear worst is yet to come?
already we are minus 32%, right,
Okay.
in August. So this is the worst of last 20 years, as I understand. So I think we have touched the bottom, and things should start improving from here. Though I would like to believe that industry also has corrected the stock at the dealership. Luckily for us, we don't believe in wholesale. Our target is only retail, and luckily there's no question of stock in our case right now, so we don't have that problem. But I would like to believe the industry has touched the bottom.
Thank you so much for
Thanks.
being so candid,
Thank
and
you.
we are hopeful that we have touched the bond and we are
Thanks.
recovering now.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.